There it is. Stay home. But my question is, if you're ordered to stay home, does that mean you can't drive your car? That's what I don't know. Rambo. Hey, can you feed the dog? Hey, Mom's got you, okay? I got stuff to do. So, for real, that's my question. I don't know if you can drive with all this going down when you're ordered to be in lockdown. And that's kind of a big deal for me. So, I haven't done a first drive of the S2000 yet. And I need to give that to you. And if we have to be in lockdown by tomorrow, which is probably today when you're watching this video, or Wednesday or yet. Anyway, if we have to be in lockdown, I gotta drive this thing and tell you what I think about it. But the problem is, she's on jack stands, boys. So I gotta get all this cleaned up, get it off jack stands, get that car moved out of the way. This car, oh, sad. You'll be back soon. Operation get this off jack stand so I can take it for a drive and tell you guys what I think about a perfectly stocked S2000. Let's go. Probably the least dramatic cold start ever. Maiden voyage in the S2. Alright boys, so this is the maiden voyage in the S2000. I've driven it around the neighborhood, but I've yet to drive it on like big roads. Now if you remember, I did the steering fix last video, a couple videos ago, I don't remember. And I definitely misaligned the steering wheel, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Clutch feels good. Use the FX300 clutch, and again, I've had S2000s before, but it's just been forever. And if you're new to the channel, I have an E36 M3 with an S54 swap. Before that, I had a supercharged R8. So my E36 never really felt that fast, right? But I haven't driven a stock S2000 for a long time. So I feel like this is going to make my E36 feel like a complete monster. I don't know, we'll see. It's been a while since I've driven one of these. Ooh, already you can tell it's a much stiffer chassis than, it's factory suspension, and I already apologize. My top has a bunch of holes in it. That's part of what I need to change. So we're gonna have to do this with the windows down. So I hope you guys can still hear me. I got the little wind mic thing on there, but I don't know if that works for convertibles. Yeah, the suspension already is very stiff compared to even my E36. But the chassis is just so nice. The chassis just feels so good. It's such a, I love this car. That's why I bought this car, man. This car is freaking awesome. Okay, we're gonna have some VTEC right here, boys. I don't know if you guys are sitting down, if you're ready for it. Let's engage VTEC, boys. VTEC! VTEC! This thing is so good. It's so slow, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. This car is so good. It's so good. It is not a speed demon at all. It's a straight up momentum car. And I actually forgot, I have a brand new clutch. So So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to take it easy for about 500 miles. When you have VTEC, you use VTEC. You can't just take it easy. Are you kidding me? Take it easy. VTEC. Gosh, this transmission, I've had the gated R8. I've driven gated Lamborghinis. Never driven a gated Ferrari. This is still one of the best transmissions I think I've ever felt. There's just no slop in it. No, it feels like a bolt action rifle. It feels so good. This transmission is one of the best there is. This clutch, the FX 350 clutch, LHT really recommends that clutch. And that's one of the reasons I bought it, is because I plan on supercharging this car. And they really recommend the FX 300 or 350, I forget. But it's a very light pressure plate, so it's really, I could daily drive this easily. The clutch I have in my E36 takes a lot more pressure to actually push. So this, and in terms of grip, you can tell it grabs really hard, but it's not like a twin disc type of clutch or a carbon type of clutch. It feels really good. If you're looking for something that can hold just a little extra power, definitely look at this one. This feels great. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this steering wheel. I'm like this. Sorry, I know it's gonna trigger some people. The chassis in this thing is just so good. You feel everything. It's such a good roadster. And what's amazing to me is, I know a lot of you guys are BMW guys. Every time I put out a BMW video, it does 10 times better than any S2000 video. 10 times is a relative number because that's still not a whole lot of views. But man, the interior on this feels so much better than the E36 interior, and this is roughly 6 years newer than the E36 that I have. It's amazing how much better interior this is. And the brakes are just awesome on this. VTEC! Oh man, this thing is so good. I love this car. If you've never driven an S2000, first off, don't drive it in like city driving where you need a lot of torque. You have to get it out on some roads where you can have momentum, row through the gears. This thing is just awesome, man. A high revving 4-cylinder. But once you get on it and you get momentum, I mean, the gear ratio is just absolutely perfect. First to second, when you shift at like 85, 8700 RPMs, you're right back above 6 grand. The shifts feel amazing. I will be the first to tell you, this thing is slow. Like my E36 compared to this feels like a freaking rocket ship. This thing is not fast by any stretch of the imagination. But the brakes are amazing. Stock brakes are amazing. The suspension is amazing. The chassis is amazing. This is just, I haven't even started to dial in performance on this, and honestly, like, you would be more than happy with this just factory how it is. This thing is so good. But again, that's if you're not chasing numbers. If you're not chasing if you're not chasing lap times, if you're not chasing horsepower numbers, this is an awesome like first entry level sports car. I've had Porsche turbos with 700 horsepower. I've had the C63 Black Series. That was like 500 horsepower to 295s in the rear. I mean, this thing is just, it's nowhere near those in terms of just like raw craziness. If you're looking for just a pure little fun sports car, gosh, this thing checks all the boxes. I've never driven a Miata, so I can't tell you how that is relative to this. I have to assume they have the same type of cult following, so I gotta think it's like this. In terms of comparison between the E36 and this, let's see this one out. hopefully that helps a little bit. In terms of comparison between the E36 and this car, I gotta say the suspension in this really honestly feels stiffer than the E36. I mean, it really does feel like a stiffer, not chassis, just the suspension feels harder. It's pretty crazy because I have coilovers on the E36 and I have the rebound pretty stiff on those. These are just factory, and from my knowledge, once old suspension, old struts go bad, I believe they're really, really mushy. So I don't think these are old and stiff. I'm pretty sure this is how the car is meant to feel. But you feel everything. I cannot wait to get this out on the track. Now, given you give it 50 to 100 more horsepower and maybe like 255s in the rear, and that'll make it a whole different animal. Right now, because everything's closed, I'm not really doing too much driving. I have 225s all the way around, and that's not a normal setup by any stretch of the imagination. A normal setup would be like 245s and 225s, or maybe 255s and 225s, something like that. So this is not normal, but it feels amazing. I mean, you're not going to break loose in this car. You're just not going to. And the brakes are so good. The brakes are unbelievably good. Like, I mean, unbelievably good. VTEC! This is just such a pure little sports car, man. You can't not love an S2000. I don't care who you are. If you drive V8 muscle cars, whatever, but you get in one of these and you just roll through the gears, there's no way you won't at least have fun. It's like a bigger go-kart. That's really what it is. Doesn't need more horsepower for sure. Like, it just does. Not much. And mind you, this is perfectly capable of you taking, I mean, you could keep it like this, have a reliable track car that you can daily drive, bring to the track and just beat on, change the oil, change the pads, and you are good to go. God, this is so good. After today, I don't know if I'll be able to drive it. We have a county-wide lockdown coming in where you're only allowed to go out for essentials. You can still walk, you can still ride your bike, stuff like that. So what I don't know is, does that mean, can I go for a drive? This drive, I'm not interacting with anyone. I'm going from my garage, making a loop, coming right back to my garage. Is that acceptable? I would think so. It's a stress reliever. How many of you guys do something like this? Just go rip your car, come right back, and you're good to go for another week or two? I mean, ultimately, I'd like to do it a little bit more often, but kind of got some crazy stuff going on in the world right now that you have to respect. Can't be playing around with this and going out in public and doing dumb stuff. So I gotta say too, the driving position in this car is definitely one of the better ones. Now, if you're above, I'm like right under 6 foot. If you're above 6 foot, I can see why you'd need to lower the seat a little bit. That's gonna do it for this one, boys. And again, it is it's Monday the 23rd. Yeah, Monday the 23rd, and from what I know, we're going into like a lockdown the 24th, Tuesday. So I don't know, like I said, if I can drive cars just out and about and come back, or what the deal is, but I do know a little bit of sacrifice now is going to pay off big in the long run. So yeah, this sucks, but it could be much worse. Could be much, much worse. So if you're new to the channel, guys, smash that subscribe. It would mean a lot. Smash the like button if you like this and want to see more S2000 content. it's probably going to happen regardless, but at least I know you guys enjoy it. I got a lot of parts on order for that car and a lot of parts on order for the brake kit. I found a solution for that wheelwood kit, so that's going to be good. I think I may be able to get that wrapped up this week. But as for being able to drive it, don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Stay indoors. This will all be over soon, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.